Hi, Ximena.
Hey, Mim.
Hello. Nice to see you and hear you all the way
Uh,
from Mexico.
yes, finally
Yes.
connecting again, joining, sharing,
Yes.
ready for whatever we might be up to in this
So
moment.
you're ready for whatever I'm about to throw to you. Yes. Okay.
Yes, I'm actually curious on what's going to come,
I
but
bef
excited and missing that.
Of course. Before we start, I'd like to say I love how your flowers are matching your blouse. I don't know if that's intentional, but I love it. I just wanted to
Yeah,
point that
it
out.
wasn't. So people can get
Nice.
the inspired vibes, and always
Of
whenever you
course.
watch it, they can see.
So like future people that we talk to, they can also do some matching. Okay, got it.
They can do it, and also they can get like in the vibe and spirit of
Of
colorful and joy
course.
and bright and
But I don't think anyone's gonna be as colorful as you.
oh no, there are.
Anyways, we'll find that out more. So, welcome to our community chat. This is just basically, we wanted to get to know more about you. I know about you plenty, but I think the community needs to get to know Ximena because Ximena's such a wonderful friend of mine and she's so awesome. Uh, um, and
Ah,
Ximena's probably very shy right now and doesn't agree.
yes, I am. No,
So, okay. So, yes, I know I've mentioned that your name's Ximena, but what is your
uh,
name? You can give us the short version and the long version if you'd like.
okay, so I will give you first with like the long version. So I've got like it's Nora Ximena Duran Miranda. Nora Ximena Duran Miranda. That means my first name is Nora, my middle name would be Ximena, and then my last names would be Duran Miranda. But I would go by Ximena, which it starts with an X, and I appreciate when people ask me how can they pronounce it. And for people to go like really short, they could just go by he or him. So you can say like hi him or hola him, hola he, hi he, and yeah, that's what I. That's my name. That's how I would like to be called for a short
That's so
version.
nice.
Yeah.
So, do you always have to write your name like Nora Ximena Dura Miranda in like everything, like whether it's like email or government official forms, like or like at your school paper at the top, like
Yes, like government, yes, and I think as a student I also had to write it, but
mm,
now for being practical, I just go by Ximena Duran,
mm,
and that's how maybe you could find me on LinkedIn, or I would just go by him, the M for Miranda, to
I
make it
see.
short.
I see. Oh, that's really nice. I wanted to ask as well, does Ximena have a meaning? Or like, does your name have a meaning in
I
general?
think I cannot like not be completely sure about, but I think it's about like the one who listens. And
Ooh.
I found that like really interesting. But also like I got that name after like there was a character that my mom from a book, so I got the she liked the name, um, and also like Nora, she got her name because of another book. So I find that like both of my names were inspired by characters in stories so yeah, I think that's a interesting fun fact about how I have got these two names, and in the end, like well, like so yeah, my mom's name is Nora, and that's she got mine, and mine was like Ximena from another story.
I love that. I love the meaning of it. Ximena who listens, it's like already implying that Ximena's born to be an active listener.
Early, yes, I think maybe sometimes you get like that kind of uh, I don't know if it's like part of the mission hidden in the name,
Mm.
and sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, but I do enjoy, of course, listening to others. And I think like I would like to now do like a double check on the internet if that's what it really means. But besides that, I think that that's something that I really in the end enjoy listening to people's stories, like why they think some things or how they feel. So also, I of course like to share, but in the end, the essence of listening and sharing come I hope like together in a certain way. And yeah, that's part of me or in my essence.
Wonderful. Thank you. So, I have another question. What
Ready.
is, you ready? What is the best thing that happened to you this week?
This week, the best thing that happened to me is like I became a great auntie. That means that so my brother had her baby. I mean, she's not a baby anymore. She's like 25. And then my niece, her name is Miranda. And then now Miranda, like this week, she had her baby 2 days ago, and I'm about to meet him soon. I think that's just like wonderful in many ways, and of course, like the family were just like hesitant to holding the little baby and now spending time together. Yeah, I think that when I've heard like the news that he was born, I was just like, I just like to cry, and in Spanish, so it's different. Like when we say in English, it's called great auntie, but in Spanish would be like tia abuela, like grandma auntie or grandmother auntie. So that's like really weird if I think about like me being a grandmother but an aunt. That's kind of shocking. But yeah, I think so. Great auntie is a cool name, I think, in English than in Spanish. Yeah, I think that that's actually like now like the best thing that this week has been about.
Oh, well, congratulations
Thank you. So a
on
few more
being
minutes, hopefully, to
yes.
meet
Sorry, repeat that.
just a few more minutes to finally meet the baby.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Do send pictures.
Well, I of course got some T-shirts, special with saying "Great Auntie" and "Great Sunshine."
Oh, that'll be so nice. I'd put it on social media as well.
And
But
I
yes,
I
also,
could go and get it now, but I would interrupt the video. But they're just like really, I can see it, the T-shirt.
oh, well,
If you
maybe
don't
you can
mind,
take a photo and show it to us, community members.
I will.
Yes, thank you. And also congratulations on being a great auntie. So yes.
Yay! Thank you. A new role, a new hat.
Yeah. Oh yes, like and make the hat great auntie as well.
Right on.
Okay, so next question. Also, thank you for sharing that wonderful news. That brings so much joy to me, and I'm sure it brings so much joy to everybody who's watching as well.
Oh,
Anyways, so the next question is tell us about your superpower. What is your superpower, Ximena?
oh, it's a great one. My superpower. I should ask you, Mim. What was that? What do you think it's my superpower? Can I do
Oh,
that? Can I
I
give
don't
that question
know.
back to you?
It's like in the game show where you ask for help. You know, you
Okay,
dial and
exactly.
ask for help. Yeah, okay.
This is one call. But I hope I can get more
Yes.
calls if you ask me.
So
Um,
to me, to me is that your superpower to me is that you bring like such a good energy to people. It's not necessarily just being happy, but it's also like your positive outlook. And also it's just you being a nice and kind person. You're so empathetic. And basically everywhere you go, you light up the room. I think that's a superpower, and not everyone has that. And
oh, that's so
it's
sweet.
yeah, it's wonderful because
Thank
like
you.
whether it's meeting Yun Yen for the first time, whether it's like going into a facilitation like online or offline. I mean, I've experienced both. Like let's say when we go into the one of the sessions online, having you there as a presence. Like I remember the first time I saw you, you light up the whole place. It's like you're very like enthusiastic, you're very like um open to adventures or like whatever's coming like today. So I think that's also superpowers that like you're daring to also, I guess, like bring that enthusiasm into new things. So
Oh,
yeah, I think
thank
that's
you.
also another superpower. So okay, I hope that gives you ideas. So what about you? What do you
Thank you.
think your
I think
superpower
that,
is?
when you mentioned about, sorry, bringing that enthusiasm, and I'm trying to like go back sometimes in time, when there were things that I would find like joy in and would be enthusiastic about, and I would be, just like be called like weird, or like what was there, how come was there like joy about reading or learning or doing an activity or being an engaged, as a student in different things, right? And I think that keeping up that enthusiasm in a certain way that, things will be good or is worth it, or and I think that, well, also what you mentioned about, this atmosphere, I was like just in the morning thinking about that, there's like so much sometimes unkindness, or life is already tough in certain ways, or in ways that you might not even know from other people or what they're going through. And I think that even of course for yourself, right? Like you don't know exactly maybe how, even maybe I'm even really feeling or you are feeling, but I think that if for a moment we can really be back again good human beings with each other, hopefully that will, multiply, and expand in a certain way. Maybe it's not going to change the problems or the struggles that we're all facing, but if just we do this a little bit more conscious or intentional about, let's make it easier on others for whatever that might be, or, yeah, just being present. I think it's important, and yeah, I think that the music part is just, it's been like a little fight to keep going for so many things. I personally believe that you never know who else also like can, will not just, give up on their way as well. And even when you're that tired, or you just kind of thing, like where you're going against so many waves, but it's worth, keep it going, because maybe someone is also, waving, or sort of swimming to the same direction or great purpose that you're going with. So, um, I think like meeting you and many other people from, I'm sure, the community, I believe that's what we're doing, or how we are in a certain way, like maybe there are so many things going on, of course, in this world, but we're all swimming, trying to going together, like, yeah, we'll get to the shore, right? We'll or more than getting to shore safely, like we are part of this too. I'm trying to look at that as metaphor, but yeah, holding each other tightly, in a positive sense, and then maybe take on the next wave perhaps, but, at least we're all there, trying to get safely, I think. So I think also that, to me, in the end, also these being part of a community, seeing this connection to each other or to you, and we are all, I think, at heart committed to something very similar. Maybe we'll express it differently, we will act on it maybe differently, but I know that in the, like the same little kind of beam or star, it's all inside of us. And I think that's also like something very wonderful and beautiful, and again, to just meet, whether it's online or physically, that's always something we should be appreciating, valuing, and then of course, who knows if someone else also like looking for that little, like start within themselves and connect back to most little things in our heart to each other. So yeah.
Thank you, Ximena. That was so beautiful.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'm really
Uh,
inspired, because I love you so much, all dearly in the community. So I think that's what you also bring inside of me.
we love you too.
Mm,
I'm sure like we also learn so much from you, as well as, others, well, as well as you learn from others. So thank you
yeah.
for being with us. I
Very
have
grateful,
two more
very grateful.
questions. I have
Yes.
two more questions. So next question is, um, what is a future skill to you?
A future skill I've been thinking about, I think it's belonging. And probably I will cry in the video, I don't know. But I think that whenever we can create belonging, that's a skill that's very special bring about, because that means that as a person, you truly care about how the other person can again find that sense of belonging in the space. And I think that's what I found with all of you. You know, I always felt I belonged in my full sense, that I could be myself. And that means if I felt that I could be myself, and maybe talk about like psychological space, or but if I felt that of being fully who I am, then I also can bring myself fully too, within maybe with maybe skills that I didn't know I have, maybe developing new ones, maybe growing new ones. But just the part I also felt that I could belong, and that there was room for me to create and to do and to think and reflect and share. That was very important, because then of course I was open, to again say it or do it. And I always again like be grateful for that and appreciate it, because I there was always this, you always made me feel that I belonged, and that there wasn't like nothing wrong with me. There was nothing wrong at all. And sometimes it can come across that maybe other kind of people don't do it, like they can maybe make you feel that, oh, maybe you're not enough like this, or maybe you're missing that, or maybe you're shortcoming on this. And again, I just like thought, it's okay. And I remember we went through like these learning journeys, and that of course helped to then maybe conquer new moments or spaces or goals, or take step forward. But again, because I always had this sense of belonging, and because I mean there are amazing people whom I don't know if consciously they did it and they bring that about. And like so I can like thank you for like Yun Yen and you and Ernie and all like the people, because I always felt that, and I never questioned. And even though I questioned all myself about it, and I feel like maybe sometimes a little bit not confident, and because I had lived that before, because I had been told that for before many, many, many times. And just like finally be in another different setting is like, this is what I like I didn't know this exists. And I know this is possible, and I think um, workspace or many spaces or would be very different if we could have the skill of have creating this part of belonging for each person.
Thank you so much. I can resonate so much of what you said about, like finding, I guess, like building a sense of belonging, not just for yourself, but for others, especially in like the current climate of the world where everything is changing so fast, whether it's AI, whether it's tech, whether it's global warming, the politics in the world, so much, so much is constantly changing. So building that sense of belonging, I totally agree, is very it's a future skill.
Yeah, and also I think
Important.
especially because nowadays there is so much polarization. You're either this or you're like this, and you can come together because of these differences. And yeah, I think we've got to overcome that. But because someone should create like, no, you belong with your own differences in your thinking, but we're all like again should be part of this as a whole, rather than being separate, right?
Totally agree. I think togetherness creates more
Togetherness.
wonderful things. Yeah, togetherness. There you go. I was trying to think of the right word. Sorry. Yeah, so yeah. I agree. I think it's better together. There we go.
Exactly,
Yes.
together.
So we're reaching towards the end of the interview, but before we go, one last question. Who is the next person you recommend us to chat to in the community?
I think the next person would be, I mean, I've been with some of them, but who have been interviewed, but I would go for Bifke Warhurst. Yes, I think it would be interesting to hear from her life stories and meaning, and what she also brings and shares about Like, so I won't want to spoil many details, but
Of
but that
course.
would
I
be
mean, yeah, totally agree. I love Vipka, and also you're not the first one who requested Vipka because Colin also requested Vipka. So
yay.
I really need to track her down and interview her. Yes. Okay. All right. So that's the end of it. Thank you so much. Any last words before we bid goodbye today?
Just again expressing how much I am again like grateful for being part of the community. Um, Again, I think whatever I can bring and share and again connect for anyone who's part of it, count with me, of course, always, always. Love you all, missing you all. Always my invitation to come to Mexico, of course, so that cannot be missed.
Of course. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
that you are all something special. Like,
That's such a
just
nice
for
way to
you
end
all
it.
to remember that.
You are all something special.
Mhm.
Thank you, Ximena.
Thank
Goodbye,
you,
and we'll
man.
see you very soon.
Yes, and please don't reach out. Like, also like connect, reach out, anything you want.
Yes. Connect to Ximena on LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever
Yes,
you get your socials. Okay. Bye,
perfect.
everybody.
Bye. Woohoo.